want to talk a little bit about the Los Angeles Clippers. They're having an interesting season this year. There's players on there that had no idea were on there completely because of the NFL season, completely somehow forgot that James Harden was a Clipper. I don't know how I missed that the Clippers have a big three of Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, James Harden, and I think Russell Westbrook is in there somewhere.
Everyone has a big three. That's why you didn't realize it. Everyone has a big three. Whatever.
And I mean James Harden has been the biggest of any big three for a while, but these new uniforms, the Clippers unveiled a new era. They're going to get new uniforms, a new logo. I didn't know Battleship, that a ship was what the Clipper was supposed to be. I don't know what I thought the Clipper was before. Maybe it could have been a paper clip. Maybe it could have been scissors. I don't know. But apparently it's a ship. And the Clippers, along with their new stadium and everything, they put out some new uniforms. We have them right here for you to check out. And I don't know what I don't know. I don't get why new sports logos and uniforms have to be so damn boring. Like, there's nothing exciting about these. Like, it's just standard ass uniforms that are out there. And you just keep seeing this. Major League Baseball did it with it was almost every team getting some type of new alternate uniform, but the Washington Nationals getting their uniforms changed up, their logo potentially changed up to a really boring W. I don't know what this new era in uniform and logo making is about, Scott, but professional sports uniforms, could they be more garbage?
Especially with the Clippers, those belong in the toilets.
Yes.
Like, those are gross. And it just lacks so much creativity. I mean, you can think of 20 million other names. We had this you and Zoo had this huge discussion when the whole Washington football team, and they were announcing what the new team name was going to be and like what they wanted, like what fans wanted to do. But it just lacks so much creativity. And I think it really boils down to what everything boils down to nowadays, and it's money. You look at those jerseys and you got to think of how much of production value it is for them to create those and print those things off. It probably costs nothing to get those printed and get those made and manufactured versus something that's going to be a little bit more elaborate with different color schemes and a little bit more oomph to them. But it's just, and it's not even just, professional sports that you're seeing this in. Hell, you're seeing this with fast food chains. I went out and I was driving around today. I was looking at all the damn fast food chains. Whatever happened to the nice little, sunroom with Wendy's? Or, you had all like the play places and like the Burger Kings, and you had like the, the big golden arches for McDonald's, and the Pizza Hut, roof looks like a fucking hut. It's just to be able to transition. If one of those institutions were to get sold off, somebody else can move in. They don't have to worry about renovating the whole damn thing. They can just slap their stuff on there and keep going. Same thing with these jerseys. They're so boring and they leave so much left as far as a want on the table that it's I don't know. I hate it. I hate everything about it.
You and Clippers owner Steve Ballmer said it the best about where those uniforms should go.
Toilets!
But I want to celebrate the teams. What?
I have a thought. I don't know, and it's just the way I'm thinking right now. But if you look at those jerseys again, you see how much negative space is on the front of those jerseys. You know what fit really nicely right there?
A Battleship?
A sponsor's logo.
Oh God, yeah, that's where they're gonna go, isn't it? Like 100%, like it's opened up for sponsors, because NBA uniforms have started doing that. They've started putting more kind of like soccer, which I just don't like. This isn't NASCAR. This isn't racing.
Yep, you keep that big space open there on Kawhi's chest, and you can just plug and play whatever sponsor's logo you want. It doesn't matter.
And their new logo looks like a target, but it's a ship, and it doesn't really. I liked the Clippers uniform for as boring as, or not their uniform, their logo, for as boring as it was. I knew who they were.
That's the other thing. These damn shield logos that all these teams are coming out with, and it's not even just in the NBA. It's across all the major sports, aside from the NHL, who I feel the NHL, out of all four major sport leagues, have the most creativity with their logos. But I mean, look at it's all these badges. I mean, especially in the MLB, you have the Mariners and the Rangers and the Astros. The Nats had one for a while. The A's have them. It's just this circle patch, and that's all it is. There's nothing creative about it. It's just such a bland and boring thing.
It's all these crests that they want to do. It's kind of like soccer, and you know what? Soccer was doing that first. It's about a crest and a shield and all that. That's cool. That's their thing. We don't like. Not every other sport needs to keep doing that. And it just keeps getting more and more boring. These circular things, these circular logos. We need more good, creative, fun logos.
We need the people who are in charge of these minor league baseball teams to be in charge of branding. That's what we need.
That's damn right. Get Fanatics out of here. Get wacky Willie Wonderstone, who's doing the Savannah Bananas marketing, and get him in there. Definitely not whoever does the Fred Nats. They never call us back, so we can talk shit about them.
Fuck them. Fuck them. That was another great opportunity to do something really cool, and they fucking squandered it.
Yep.
That was talk about letting the air out of a balloon and just seeing it just fly around the room. That was I was so excited the week leading up into that unveiling. And when they finally released it, I was so just upset and very annoyed that here we go again. They just don't want to do anything fun. You got the fun police out here.
Well, look, fuck the fun police. Fuck the Fred Nats. Fuck the Clippers. We want to celebrate logos that are actually cool, that are actually fun, that are actually creative. There are many, not a lot, but there are many current sports logos, professional sports teams that have logos that are fun, cool, and creative. We're going to highlight those right now with a special top 5. The top 5 current logos in professional sports.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is the 323's Top 5.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
That's right. The top 5 current logos in professional sports. That's what we're jumping into today, Scott. It's going to be a good one. I like what we've got. What are you cracking up about over there, Giggle Fest?
I don't know if it's just the first time that I've noticed that. Did you redo the intro
for the top 5?
For the top 5 to have the guy from GTA on there?
Oh yeah, we got him in there. Yeah, we got our guy. We got the homie in there.
And for those who are wondering what I'm referencing to on the audio medium, you're going to have to go to the visual media on YouTube at 323 to see what exactly on the intro I was referring to.
That's right, the 323 network on YouTube. You're missing out.
If you comment that character's name below correctly, I will give you one great Scottism for your bit of advice for that day.
Look at that. And we do look at the comments. We get to the comments, and Scott will argue with you in the comments if you rile him up well enough. Oh, it is, Scott, and with visual aid, because this is the 323 network on YouTube, you got to go there. The top 5 logos in sports. All right. It's going to be a good one. This is going to be a fun one. And I want to start with our OLIs, because I'm sure we had plenty of OLIs here. And these were Scott's OLIs. I want you to go over these with me. What did you have going here, Scott?
Yeah. So it was like you said, Reid, it was a very difficult task to comb through all 4 major sport leagues logos and really pick out what I like the best. And it really only came down to 10. And these were the 4 that kind of were on the outskirts. You got the Tampa Bay Lightning for hockey. You got the Milwaukee Brewers for baseball, which I really love how they kind of have that play on, got the M and the B in the mitt, and it also makes a baseball glove, which I think is really cool.
Oh, I like that. I'd never realized that before. I like that. Oh.
Same thing with the Milwaukee Bucks. They have that negative space basketball in the antlers of the buck, which is really, really neat. And then the Jaguars. The Jaguars, I've always felt, have one of the best logos in the NFL. I really like when a team can not only do an untraditional kind of mascot, but also with untraditional colors like the teal and the gold and black. I think that's really cool. And just the simplicity with the lightning bolt. That's all you need to say.
That's easy. The lightning bolt is pretty slick, especially with the colors, especially when they switch it out between being white full white with a blue accent or blue with the white accent. I like that with Tampa Bay. I
Yeah.
like that our picks in general are not going to. There's not much crossover whatsoever.
And I was surprised when you told me that when I sent you over my list and you're like, oh, there's only one that's repeating. I was like, what do you mean? Which ones did you? Now I'm interested in which ones you picked.
And now there is one that's slightly repeating that you'll recognize in my OLIs. Or actually, no, there's not. I changed my OLIs. I forgot that I narrowed it down to 5 because I actually had about 9 OLIs. But once I saw that you had 4, I'm like, I'm maybe overcompensating. So these are the ones that didn't quite make it for me. I like the Miami Marlins logo there. I love the colors. I love the Miami Knights that they go for with that team now. The dark and that teal. It's really slick to me. Vegas Golden Knights have been a really fun, cool team added into the NHL. I like that logo. That's pretty slick, and I love the V. You can tell we're both suckers for initiating a letter or some type of wording into whatever your cool logo is. St. Louis Cardinals might just be, a nostalgic person. That's me. That was my dad's team. I was the team I grew up on before the Nationals. I think it's classic. It's cool. It's cute. Look at that Cardinal. Such a sweet eye. But he's a little serious. He's ready for work. The New York Red Bulls. I like it. I like the logo. I'm not giving in to corporate greed. I won't put them on my top 5. I will not dive into that corporate greed there. But it's creative. It's pretty cool. Makes a lot of money. And then the NFL. Shame on you, National Football League. You're the biggest league in American sports. And your logos are so shitty. Like you're hard pressed to find a good logo. You can make some arguments maybe for a couple, but they're just all boring. And I got to give it to the Cleveland Browns. I had to throw them on my OLIs because their logo is so impressively boring.
They just leaned into it.
Their logo is their helmet. And they don't have a logo on their helmet because the logo is the helmet. They're always wearing it. Now, they have that creepy elf that's on the field. And I think there's a dog that might be their logo. But this is still their official logo, just their helmet. So that's all I can give you, NFL.
Well,
I can give you.
Well, and I'm glad that you threw in the Red Bulls in there because for one, I didn't even think about even looking at an MLS team logo because I know most of them, like you said, are just like the patches and the shields and stuff like that. But just thinking about it offhand, I do like the Portland Timbers logo with the axe, and it's a very simplistic kind of design. But the NFL with all their money that they have, you'd think they'd be able to squander some kind of marketing, some better marketing team.
And maybe I'm just still hung up on that hentai panel from Awesome Con a couple years ago. But the St. Louis Cardinals, the C that's gripping the bat, it's got me feeling a type of way right now. I don't know if that's good or bad. That's a little suggestive.
No, I'm feeling some movement.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Maybe that's why the Cardinals looking like that. Maybe that's why it's so kind of freaked out.
You know what? And in my very long 33 years of life, this is the first time I've actually even noticed that. And I'm never going to not see it now. So thank you, Reid.
Yeah, that's all I can see now. That's all I can tell. Might have just gotten into the top 5. I don't know yet. We'll go. But I'll kick it off because we talked about hockey logos being crazy and kind of creative. And that's where my number 5 is. My number 5 is a hockey logo, and that is the San Jose Sharks right there. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Whoa. Oh my gosh, creativity. Do we have fanfare music anywhere? Is it anywhere? There it is. Aha. The San Jose Sharks. I like it. It's just very menacing. It's very extra. Look at that shark just chomping down on the hockey stick. I've noticed, and you'll notice it through the top 5. 90s logos were passionately insane. They were wild. So this one is still from the 90s. They haven't changed it since. Credit to San Jose. It kind of looks like a shark that's like a jet. I don't know what's happening there. But
don't you dare take it away.
Don't you take that. Don't you take that stick from that thing.
No, and this just goes back to what I was telling you. Like if you go and look at the NHL logos just in mass, like they're so much better than any of the other logos in any of the other sports franchises or sports leagues.
For sure. Scott, you're number 5?
My number 5 is my selfish pick this week, and that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, I kind of saw that coming.
Look at that. It's just beautiful. And ever since they rebranded, they got the new jerseys with the old pewter jerseys. And I will say I do like this one slightly more than the old Buccaneer of the creamsicle days. But if they were able to bring the creamsicle Buccaneer back and put the new spin on the colors on there, I would love it.
If there's an argument for any other NFL logo but the boring Browns, it's the Bucks. It's that flag. That's pretty cool. It's a pretty rad one. And I never noticed the football up until like a couple years ago when I was trying to do trivia. Being on there, I like that. That's pretty slick. Number 4 for me, I'm going to stay in Florida. With your Florida area, but I'm going to go down to Miami, and I'm going to basketball. I'm going with the Miami Heat here. I like the flaming basketball. It's really cool. It looks like it's going to come crashing down and blow everything to hell. Give me the Miami Heat. I guess I fell in love with that during the LeBron James era when I kind of became like a weird bandwagon Heat fan. I don't know. There's something just cool about it. And it makes me think of culture. They're always talking culture. It's got me on a culture streak. Give me the Miami Heat there at number 4. What about for you, Scott? Number 4?
Number 4, talk about culture. We're going to go with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Hey, oh my gosh.
I mean, you have one of the founding franchises in the NHL. They have been around since the dawn of time. When you think NHL, this is what I think of. The Chicago Blackhawks are usually at the forefront of my mind. And I just love the representation that, natives get and indigenous people get, especially when they can do it the right way, unlike the Cleveland Indians.
Oh my gosh. I saw that one again today because I saw the Cleveland Guardians logo for the first time. Which, by the way, the Guardians logo, trash. Better than the racism of the Indians logo, but trash. The Blackhawks logo, that's really beautiful. I love the colors. That's very vibrant and cool. That's a good one to have. Number 3, I'm actually going to the WNBA with this one, and that is the New York Liberty. It's, again, got that same kind of thing with a basketball on fire, and maybe that's something I like. I loved J. Cole's album with the lit up basketball court. Maybe I like basketballs on fire. Maybe I'm a pyro. But this is a pretty cool logo that I saw for the first time today with the Statue of Liberty added in there, holding up the basketball. I thought it was really cool and a really a unique color for a logo. I think it's really unique. I like it. That's why I roll with them. That's good for creativity. Number 3, Scott?
Well, now I just feel bad about myself because I've got two teams from the same league on my list, and the WNBA is not on my list at all. So poo on me. Number 3, we're going to go with the Boston Celtics.
Hey.
I mean, another one of those storied franchises. I mean, it's just the logo speaks for itself. The brand recognition it brings, the creativity that it has. It's just such a great logo.
It's classic. You have to roll with that. That's a classic logo. Makes me think a little bit of a tinge of racism, but that's just Boston.
Hey,
that's just
my logo. I say it's okay.
Okay, all right. Well, it is March. It is March now. I'm sorry. I apologize. Number two for me, it's another logo from the NHL. It's one that I've seen before, but I never really looked at it as deep as I did today. I love this logo. I think the colors are cool as fuck. I think the design of it is cool as fuck, and that is the Minnesota Wild.
Yep.
I love that with the forest in the background, the bear as its logo, the shooting stars, the eye, the sunset. Like, it's such a cool logo.
Yep.
Like, that is absolutely badass. I couldn't tell you anything about the Minnesota Wild. I learned of a lot of NHL teams today, actually, going through this. I didn't know there was an Arizona Coyotes. I had no idea Arizona had a hockey team. Holy shit. I learned so much hockey today. That is your host of a sports network, learning hockey to do top 5 logos on the show. But the Minnesota Wild, really cool. Even the lake is the mouth. Oh, it's so detailed and elegant. I love this. I love this one.
No, me and you are definitely cucks to imagery and
Yes.
dual purpose logos like this.
Cucks to imagery. Cucks to imagery is a description I didn't expect to hear about ourselves.
That's the name of my next album.
Number 2 for you, Scott.
Number 2 is the number 1 logo in all of Major League Baseball, and that is the Baltimore Orioles. You can't compete with it. You just can't. You can't compete with it. It has a nice little retro feel. I'm glad they went with that route rather than the old, very hyper realistic Oriole logo that they were running. But when you look at the MLB as a whole with their logos, there's a huge drop off. You got them, you got the Cardinals. I do love the White Sox logo. I will say that there's something very classic and retro and like really elicits an emotional response by looking at that still. But after them, it's really just a bunch of crap.
I'm 100% with you to the degree that it's my number 1.
Wow.
The Baltimore Orioles are my number 1 logo. I've always been just attracted to that logo. I think it's such a cool one. You said everything that needed to be said. The only thing I'll add, look how happy he is. Look how happy. He's just so happy to be there. He's just happy for baseball. He's cute. Like, this is a lesson, sports teams. This is a lesson to all of you pros. Your logo can be cute. Your mascot can be cute. Be like the Oriole. Nothing has to be all God-fearing creatures that you have in the NFL and whatever. Go cute or insane like the NHL. That's all I would throw. Number 1 for you, Scott.
The number 1 logo in all of sports is the Chicago Bulls.
Hey.
I mean, it's perfect. It's perfect. You never have to change it. It is the greatest logo that I think I've ever seen across all brands. They did a really great job with it, and I swear to God, if they ever change it, I'm going to riot. It just brings me back. You just look at that logo, and like I said, I think a lot of this it's more built on emotional ties, like you said, with the Cardinals, with your dad, with me, with the Chicago Bulls. Growing up in the mid '90s and late '90s, during recess or after school, you're going out and you're playing basketball with your friends. And at that point in time, I was the only Scott that I ever knew. And then you had Scottie Pippen playing for the Bulls. So here I am, pretend that I'm, 6'7" Scottie Pippen out there playing basketball. And it just elicits such an emotional response in my soul that it's just such a perfect logo.
That's the beauty of logos. That's why these teams need to take it more seriously. These things stick with people. They stick with kids. People are going to remember this one. They're going to remember the ones that we brought up. They're not going to think about the Clippers battleship marching at you when they're, even though they're still not going to be winning championships even with all this new stuff. But just get creative, get cool. That's all the Clippers could have done. The Clippers could have been like a pair of scissors with some eyes in the holes. Like, it would have been just cool as shit. It could have had Clippy from Microsoft be their logo. Buy him off. Now that I think
he needs a job.
He could use some work.
In this economy?
In this economy? Give Clippy some help. Oh, those are the top 5 logos in current professional sports. And this has been the 323.